Oh, you decided to work. Thank you. Very generous. Right. So yesterday's one. Just mute this. So yesterday's one. Right, yesterday's one was Lavender. Oh, today's Lavender. Where are we? That's what we're doing today. 2 streams back to back, you lucky, lucky people. Okay. All right, let's get cracking. Right, just want to make sure I've got it right. 162, 162. Right, we are correct. I'm paranoid now after I messed up the other colour on the other drawing. Oh, this is nice, isn't it? Look at this colour. That's alright, isn't it? That's a very pretty colour. Yeah, we're all good. We're all recording without any fuss. Because there's usually a lot of fuss when I have to record stuff. Where should we go with this one? I don't know. I'm just going to go anywhere. Don't know how this is going to end up. Don't know what's going to happen. Get my beverage. Scrumptious. Never mind all that chat from outside, it's just my kids irritating each other.
It's the fresh one, look. It's one of them fresh ones I've caught.
There's my little ruler.
Oh, it's blown away. Won't blow away. Right, you want that?
So I'm just repositioning. Woo! How's it going, Coob? 2 streams on the bounce. Oh, hi Lucy, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in and thanks for the likes as well. Appreciate it. I've had a few people turn up all at once. Hope you're both well. Thanks for popping in. Hope you had a good weekend. I know we had a little chat yesterday, didn't we, Coop? It was a not the longest stream I had yesterday, but I didn't really know what else I could do with the drawing I did. Just a bit tired. I feel you there. I've been bloody cleaning and washing and stuff all day today. Yeah, like that was the one I did yesterday. It was not. It's a nice colour, but it's just not the most vivid. I didn't really know what to do with it, so I just thought, well, we'll see what happens. Not bad, thanks. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, Lucy. Like I said, I've just had a day of chores, cleaning, washing, tidying, all that nonsense. Whilst the kids have been out at the wildlife park. But I've kind of done all that now, so I'm just going to chill out with a stream and then I'm going to play some games after I'm done here. A productive Monday, shall we say. And then I'll be looking into setting up my shop tomorrow. I've done a bit of research with, I've not like avoided it, like I've looked into setting up my shop and all that sort of stuff, and like I say, it's just, I'm going to need to spend a whole day doing it from the look of it, just making sure everything's all kosher. But yeah, just been doing that kind of stuff. This heat and allergies have me kind of beat. I feel you there, Coob. I mentioned to you last week, didn't I, that hay fever absolutely destroyed me last week, and I got sinus infection off the back of it. That was hella fun. But no, thank you so much for the likes, Lucy. Excuse me. Yeah, Lucy and Coob, I'd recommend each other's channels to you. If art is your thing, which I know it is. I was thinking of doing a time-lapse sketchbook drawing tomorrow, since I've not done any in ages, and the last two I did were pretty meh. But I'll look into getting the shop stuff sorted. I mean, maybe it won't take me that long. I don't know. So, Lucy Sweet Journaling is Lucy's channel. A friend of mine, Coob, who's on my YouTube chat, Lucy, he's asking for your channel. But any kind of art channel, I'm always interested in people's work. And that's on TikTok, Coob. Yeah, since one of the reasons I wish my channel was bigger, you know, aside from the obvious sort of exposure and financial gain of it, but I just think artists get so screwed in algorithms and all this kind of bollocks that I'd be more than happy to say, right, here's a load of artists, you know, every week, like showcase like 10 artists' work or something. Like, I'd love to buy every single artist that I like. I'd love to buy at least one of their works and have like a massive wall and put one of their works on the wall and then just showcase that and say, look, here's a load of artists, go support them, go, you know, go view their work, go like their channel, subscribe to them. Because I think artists just get such a rough time. It makes no sense either, like some of the kind of BS. Like my last 3 videos that I put on TikTok, like it's been at a steady 250, 300 for most of them. But the last 3, I mean, I think one of them was a repost. No, 2 of them have been reposts, like the on this day thing, and then one of them was the one I did yesterday. Not touched 100. So they're getting worse. It's just like... Well, what'd you do? Yeah, I would like... one of the reasons as well I need to get my shop up is because I've said to myself, until I get that up, I need to start expanding my art and kind of just working on more things. Sorry, Lucy, I've missed some of your... Is he on TikTok too? Coob is, yeah. I don't know how much work Coob does on TikTok. Oh, thank you for follow. I can't read that. Toria Lily. Thank you so much for the follow. I've never sold any of my paintings. Even if you don't sell any of them or you don't put them up for sale, just people sort of hopping on your page or your TikTok page or your YouTube page, whatever it is that you've got, just to sort of drop a few likes, subscribes, just to kind of expand your reach, I guess. But no, thank you so much for the follows and the views and things like that. But yeah, Coop's saying he doesn't do anything on TikTok, but he does have a YouTube and an Instagram. Like all of his artworks on Instagram, it's brilliant. And he does he makes music as well, and they're brilliant as well. It's Q OOOB. Or it's Dakub, isn't it? But yeah, go give each other likes and follows and stuff. Like, artists supporting artists and all that jazz. I think I don't know why YouTube or any other big social media thing doesn't do this. Where they kind of where is there a way like they could categorize who you follow? So like if you just want to like only art channels to show up on your FY for you page, whatever it is, it just makes it a bit easier for people to find what they want. Like I was chatting to a friend on TikTok today, and I've said it a few times that the TikTok algorithm's mad because I'll randomly get videos of like Komodo dragons eating cows and stuff, and it's like, what in my TikTok history has implied that I'm remotely interested in that? I mean, I'll morbidly watch it, but it's like I'm not really into that. Whereas if you just, I mean, I know what you watch is meant to dictate that, but so the more art channels you watch, the more they'll show up on your For You page, but you still get random nonsense. Oh, Lucy, thank you so much for the roses. That's so kind of you. Thank you. So, sorry if I'm a little bit behind on the messages and stuff. Show me ADHD videos. Yeah, I don't really understand the algorithm. Somebody, I think I did mention this before. There was a video that I saw, and they described the TikTok algorithm in this way, where the first 300. So it works on a point system. So the first 300, because I think everyone notices this, like pretty much every new video you put up, it's always between 250 and 300 views, and then it stops. But for every watch, no, what was it? I think it was for every like, it's 1 point. For every share, it was 2 points. For every subscribe, it was 3 points. If the video is watched all the way through, it's like 5 points. And if you accumulate 50 points within that first 300 views, then the algorithm bumps it up again to 1,000, and then you have to get another set of points. And then if you reach that target, it bumps it up again, and so on and so forth. I don't know how true that is, but I thought it was interesting, and I haven't thought about it enough to think if that's a good idea or not. I think in theory it sounds like a good idea, but just the sort of whole thing of it just cuts you off immediately if you don't meet a target. I just think it doesn't feel massively organic, but I don't know. Search for a type of video, then yeah, see, that makes sense. I think for the most part it does do that. Like most of my favourites and likes are art videos. There'll be like the odd funny video that someone might do. Gaming videos, so like it might be like Warzone or Overwatch, or a lot of music videos. So I really like watching sort of really talented musicians. Football. Like I say, for the most part, there is. It does do that, but just occasionally I'll get a random one. I'm like, where have I ever liked anything to do with this? Yeah, I agree. Like I said, maybe I'm asking too much. I think maybe it could be a little bit more streamlined, I guess. But I mean, I actually think TikTok is probably the best at doing that, where it kind of caters to what you watch. I think YouTube needs to do a better job of that. Although, I mean, having said that, I did get a little uptick in subscribers the other day, so I put out a sketchbook tour on Friday. I still haven't advertised that across my other socials, but I got nearly 500 views out of it in the first few days, and I got about 20 new subscribers out of it. So that was quite nice. Thought can't grumble at that. Up to 310 on YouTube now. So I need, what do I need? 500 is one of the goals before you can start monetizing. But in fairness, I know I've not posted enough on YouTube. I only do the live streams. So I know I could do more. Great. Oh, cheers, Coop. Thank you. Do you use TubeBuddy for YouTube, I found? I did for... I had an old YouTube channel. In fact, do I use it for this one? You've got me thinking. Yeah, I think I did for my old one. But I'm not sure if I put it on for this one, because I remember TubeBuddy, where it would kind of get similar to like a point system again, where it would say, have you got a... like it was like a thumbnail would add to your like showing up on like the algorithm. I think it was a thumbnail, it was descriptions, it was certain type of tags. Was it the length of time maybe? It was also a front and back. So at the end of the video, you'd have like it would fade into like the next video and the previous one, or your channel icon or whatever. I'm pretty sure I do that on all my videos now, which is why I never went back and re-added TubeBuddy, but I might do it. I might go and re-add that. But yeah, I remember, I completely forgot about that. Because I was unsure if it helped or not. I wasn't sure if it did anything, because it was not long after that that my old Instagram got nuked. So I had to kind of make a whole new email address, and I just moved everything over to that, so I had to start again. But if it works, then yeah, I'll definitely go have a look. Yeah, no, thank you so much, Taria Lily, for stopping by. Have a good evening. Thank you. Thank you, Artist Nanny. Oh, sorry, I'm nearly blocking people because I'm so bad at operating this flipping thing. So what I do, Nanny Allison, is my drawings are inspired by pixel art and graffiti art. And this particular series I'm doing now is, I've got a load of pens that I got for my birthday, so all of these top ones, these ones here. There's 120 of them, and I thought, well, to get my money's worth, to kind of justify buying them, I thought I'll do a drawing with every single colour. And it was the first drawing I did. I wanted to try out live streaming, just to see how it would go. And it's kind of just a series that's kind of kicked on from there, and this is the 44th one now. So I've already done an entire sketchbook's worth of them. So we started off with like the yellows, and then moved like through to the oranges. So these are the first 40 I did. I'll be doing a tour of these as well soon. Yeah, so sort of the darker sort of oranges, then kind of through to the reds and pinks. One of them I didn't stream, so I didn't stream this one because, as you can see, I mean, look at it. You can barely see the colour. Yeah, so we're at the pinks, and then towards the end of this one, we've now kind of transitioned into the purples. And then we'll be transitioning from the purples to the blues, I guess. I did enjoy the Black Book tour. Thank you, Coop. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was quite fun kind of going through it and seeing all the stuff I've done before. But I will be getting a new sketchbook to kind of, I'll be using grey pens with that one as well. I actually wouldn't have even thought about buying a new sketchbook, but because they've become my most popular drawings and people want to buy them, I thought, right, what I'll do then is I'll make the editing process easier for myself. So I'll buy just a plain paper sketchbook for it, specifically for that. But yeah, I think what I'll do this week as well is a tour of the ARTEZA series that I've done as well. Yeah, I'll be doing another tour soon. And the new sketchbook I buy, I have found one that I really like, but it's really thick. So I don't know if I'm going to use that. I might get a slightly slimmer one. And I'll make sure the weight of the paper is correct as well, because in the other one it was 160 GSM. Which was thick enough that it didn't show through on the page underneath it, so I'm going to get that. Do you have an idea before you start your drawings, or just go with it? Excuse me. On these particular ones, I just go with it. On some drawings, I'll have an idea. So on the ones, so on these two, so these are two original pieces that are available to buy, or they will be. Well, they are now. You can DM me. So, for example, this one here, that one I penciled in first. So I used like a blue pencil to outline the shapes. I planned the colours. That was a much more planned drawing. But this one wasn't. This one was just, I kind of go with it and see where I end up. But what I tend to do is I work off like a cheat sheet. So where's my sketchbook's gone for that? God, my book's all over the gaff. This way. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll use like a set of shapes. So I don't know if you can see that. So I use just basic shapes like, squares, we'll call that one carriages, random triangles, brick patterns, triangle patterns, polygon pieces, U shapes. And what I'll do is I'll stitch all of these together and then I'll fill in sort of the gaps. So the process in my head roughly goes like this. So this is a tutorial I started a while back. So that's kind of the process roughly of how it works. We'll do that first, thicken out the outline, add detail in the middle, colour the detail, any additional detail on the outside, background, and then, like I said, this is like an extra step where if I want to be more specific, I'll pencil it in first, but that's kind of like the rough parameters of what I'm working with in my head. And then this is like the sketchbook I have, or the scrapbook, where I'll just like mess about with ideas and colours and see what works, see what doesn't work. So that was an idea that actually came about in one of the sketchbook pieces I did. So like I said, I've not done these ones in a while, but I started off on my YouTube page. I'll record these, so these take about 2 hours, and then I'll edit them down into 2-3 minute videos. So this was like the very first thing I put up on my YouTube page. I've not done them in a little while, but I do want to come back to them. But that's kind of the idea of how I created these, was just like that one didn't kind of spawn out of nothing. Like I did do like rough ideas of that in my scrapbook first, and then I applied it to this. But for these ones and the black book sketches that I do, which would be these ones, the whole point of these ones, these are just draw and go, just see where you end up, see what you feel like. But yeah, they kind of all work differently, but there's always like a rough thing in my head, if that makes sense. Lainey, thank you for the follow on TikTok, appreciate it. But yeah, there should be a couple more tours coming soon. Like I said, the first 40 in this series I'll tour. The scrapbook that I used to get ideas from, I'll tour that as well. Because at the start of this process, like 2 years ago, they didn't really look like this. Like I got inspired by an artist called Peter Draws. So a lot of my drawings kind of looked more like this, in the sort of area of Zentangle, I suppose more, I don't know what you want to call it, plants, not more, basically more curvy, I'll say. But it wasn't really my style, so I kind of moved away from it. That's kind of one of the earlier ones where you can see I'm moving into more kind of blocky shapes. Got to hop off for now. Best of luck with the rest of your run. No, thank you very much, Coob. Always appreciate you popping in. I'll be on for a little while. This one's probably going to take at least another hour and a half. So I'll be around. But thank you for popping in anyway. Always good to see you, my friend. But yeah, I will do a video in the future about like my process and all that kind of stuff, like how I get to where I am with the work. Cheers, Goob. Thank you. Really appreciate it, mate. We'll go here. In these kind of drawings, sometimes I'll think, I kind of get stumped and like, shall I put this line here or that line there? And then I'll just do it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, they're not all winners. Like, there's been a couple of drawings I've done in my black book where I've not quite got it right. They've been a little bit wrong. But it's fine, because that's the whole point of drawing, see where you go. Like here, I've only just seen it now. I don't like the fact that that is the same shape as that but rotated. I don't like that, and it's the same shape there as well. Like, I don't like that. Like, I've just noticed it. Like, it's fine. Like, it doesn't ruin the drawing. It doesn't make me think, oh, I've ruined it. But it's just, I always try and be aware of repeat patterns or repeat shapes, because I don't like that. Unless it's really intentional. Like the star shape I showed you earlier. So that one, like the composition of it is intentional. So the 6 kind of pointed star. But I wanted to make sure that none of the shapes were the same or none of the colours repeated. But while still having a colour theme, if that makes sense. But for these kind of drawings, I try and make it so none of the patterns or none of the shapes repeat. So because I've done that, what I'll probably do with this now is I'll just split it up like that. But what I like about this style is, like I say, one of my inspirations for this is pixel art. So I really like the big structures in like the background and foregrounds of like shoot 'em up video games. Like the fact that they're able to kind of whip up such great atmosphere with like a limited color palette or like more simplistic shapes, it's really helped me focus my work, because I'm really bad at seeing like a really hyper detailed image of something and then just trying to sprint towards it. So this has really helped me kind of sort that out. Catch you later, Jimmy. No worries, Lucy. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you so much for the necklace as well. That's very, very kind and generous of you. I really appreciate it. And hopefully catch up soon. If you're ever live, I'll try and catch up on your streams as well. But thank you so much for stopping in. Bye, Lucy. Sorry, I was just grabbing a sip of my beverage. Zoom it in a bit more, actually. need to shave. Itchy face. Where did I put the number? I don't know. Some sort of right, left, left. I'll put on the right this time. Hey, 162. I'll come back to that, I don't know. I maybe made a mistake with that. No, I'll do this. Didn't actually need to do that, but that's fine. Oh, that's going to fall off my... Sorry, I was faffing about with my phone that I'm recording TikTok on. Yeah, if anyone is still knocking about, I am on TikTok and YouTube, Instagram, all that kind of business. Feel free to give us a sub. Hey, how's it going, my man? Thanks for stopping in. How's your weekend been? Full of frills and spills? Boring weekend this time. Well, boring is better than bad in some instances. Yeah, mine's been pretty much the same. Watched a bit of telly. Oh, I did a bit of work. Saturdays are never really anything. Nothing at all. Jack Carter, thank you so much for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Sorry if I'm doing that, it's because I can't read the writing against the white paper. But yeah, I'm the same, Uni. I had a very uninteresting weekend. I was just in a constant vegetative state of cannot be arsed. So I just slobbed in my chair watching telly and movies and stuff. But I thought this week we'll get on it, we'll get some of these knocked out. get that shop set up this week because the kids are off, so that should free up a bit of time so I can get on and get all that done. Oof. Hi Trickster, how's it going? What am I creating? I'm creating, best way I can describe it is it's all the drawings I do are based on pixel art, 2D pixel art in video games. So games like Super Metroid, Axiom Verge, R-Type. What other examples? Cyber Shadow's another one. So all the kind of sort of background, sort of big ships and structures you see, it's kind of loosely based on that, like cyberpunk, sci-fi, that kind of thing. I've done a load of other drawings in sketchbooks. So I started off doing these ones that I recorded. Bloody hell, TikTok, what are you doing to me? Thank you, TikTok verification. So yeah, I do these kind of drawings. That's probably a clearer example where it's like a ship in the clouds kind of thing. But they're all loosely based off that. So I've recorded those, edited them down to like 2-minute videos that are all up on my YouTube channel. Where's the other sketchbook? And I also do, excuse me, these kind of drawings that I've printed off 10 of them, and they're available to buy as well. So same kind of deal, but these were just done in black and white. And I've recently done a sketchbook tour of this as well on my YouTube channel for people to go and see. But yeah, basically that kind of stuff. Oh, as I crack my back. Megan, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Just checking my phone, make sure it's not overheating. It's all right. But yeah, that's the kind of spiel that I draw. That's what it's inspired by. No work for you either. You're not working at all this week, Ernie? How is work going, by the way? It's been a while since you mentioned anything to do with your work. Sounds ominous. Freshies do most of mine, so I get like an hour. Nice. Love that. Make it work for you. Plus, because of my situation, I get work from home. Oh, that's really good. That's one of the few things good to come out of COVID is realising you can be just as productive from home. I do think maybe a split is possibly best for that. Like 1 or 2 days in the office to actually socialise with people and just checking in. I think that's okay, but yeah, going in 5 days a week, tarted up to the nines in your fucking suit and tie, pissing away money on travel that you don't need to waste. It seems silly. Pooch is upset by something. Excuse me. Yeah, last couple of streams on YouTube been a little bit quiet. Today's been okay on TikTok, but been a bit quiet on YouTube. I did do a stream yesterday. That was moved. That was the one I was supposed to do on Friday, but I moved it to yesterday. But I didn't expect it to be really busy yesterday on a Sunday. And it wasn't a particularly long one either. Only ran for an hour and a bit. This one will be a bit longer. Lazy Monday, that's it. I mean, what have we got now? So we've passed the hour mark. Yeah, we're probably about halfway through, I'd guess, with this one. What is it? Matters properly, like. Gonna watch Barbie tonight. That's one of the films where I've heard probably the most amount of mixed reviews of a film ever. And I don't mean that some people think it's great, some people think it's shit. I mean, people say it's amazing, people say it's shit, and every opinion in between. I think we bought it on Amazon for our little girl to watch, but I don't think I've watched it. I don't know if I'm asked about it. I remember not being asked about it when I saw it. For the trailer, I just thought, well, that's clearly not made for me. Like, I didn't think it looked particularly good, but I've heard some people who I wouldn't have expected to say it was actually quite good. I've heard other people say it was rubbish. I just don't think I'm arsed. Like, there are certain films that I could happily go my entire life without ever watching, and I wouldn't care if I never watched them. Slumdog Millionaire being one of them. The the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire film. I couldn't care less about that film. Social Network is another one. The Facebook one. Don't care about that one. The 9/11 films. Was it United 93? Like any of those films, I'm just like, no, I'm not interested. Barbie's another one. Barbie I might watch. Haven't made up my mind yet though. Yeah, it's just it's a weird one, that. An indie movie when it's not. Is the main character in it, is he Indian? Is that what the connection supposedly was? But is he like Indian American or Indian English? I don't know. I've just got no idea about anything. I just don't care. I just like stories like that. I don't find inspirational. But no. Mighty Ducks. That's inspirational. Watch that. Much better film. You want to be inspired? Watch the Mighty Ducks. Yeah, I kind of know what you mean. Indian-based British. Yeah, yeah, it's just I couldn't give a shit. Like, I don't care. I was chatting to my son about films the other day. So we've started watching the Matrix films, and I think the Matrix is probably in my top 10 all time. Visual Vendetta, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Have I had any art shows yet? No, not yet. I'd love to do that kind of thing. I think I'm a little bit... I'm not quite there yet. Like, I need more... like physical pieces. Like, most of my stuff's confined to sketchbooks at the minute. I think I need to create more pieces. I need to get a shop up before I do anything like that. That's my next goal. That is priority one for me. But no, art shows is something I definitely love to do. I need to research sort of local to me where they would be. But you know, an art show is something I definitely love to do. I'm just going to go over this bit. But how are you anyway, Visual Vendetta? You had a good weekend? Good day, good weekend, good week? Good stuff, that's what I like to hear. As long as people are having a good time. That's all that matters. Yeah, art show is something definitely on the to-do list. 1,000,000%. Trying to control my... Yeah, best way to be. Put yourself in a positive mindset. It's advice I could use sometimes, to be honest. My life is good now. No, that's good to hear. That's what you want. Happiness always the main goal. Something I do struggle with at times, no doubt. It's going to be 47 degrees tomorrow. It's only, well, I don't know if it's Google, I think that's bullshit. It says 15 degrees on my computer. I'm not entirely convinced it's that. But then again, in my office, it always gets really, really hot because my PC's on and there's like no real ventilation in here, so. Oh, cheers, Vendetta, thank you. Yeah, I think one of the motivating things behind sort of doing this, there's sort of loads of little things come together to make you kind of change up and do something different. But I remember I did a picture of, I'll always remember this really vividly. It was one of the things that led me to change. One of my friends, he scrolled through my work and he saw the picture I did of Simon Phoenix. So I painted it digitally. It's the scene where he's got the eyeball on the fountain pen. And he commented on that bit of work saying that he scrolled past it thinking it was a photo, which it's a lovely comment. Obviously, it's a really nice comment, a really lovely compliment. But it got me thinking, like it kind of stuck in my head because I thought, I don't want my work to look like a photo, or I don't want it to look like something that you just scroll past because you think it's something else. I wanted it to be unique to me, so when people saw it, they'd know it was my work. And that's what led me to kind of try out anatomy and things like that. But when that didn't work out, I kind of scaled it all the way back to sort of shapes and work that I, art styles that I love and inspire me. And that's kind of where this was all born out. But it's starting to, obviously it's taken a couple of years to get to this point, but I just know if I'm consistent, I need to work on being a bit more consistent, I know that. But my kind of philosophy is if I just be consistent, carry on, then, I can make something from it. And like I say, it's slow progress, but I think people are starting to take a bit of notice and all that kind of stuff. Much harder in future times for us because, yeah, AI is a funny one. Like at first I always thought, that would take over and all this kind of stuff, but I think the thing with AI, like I've said this before, I think AI is fine if you use it as a tool. like a reference tool. Dead Hand, how's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. You had a good weekend? I was just chatting to Vendetta about AI. Like, I think if you kind of, because it's prompt, like I argued with somebody on Twitter that it's not art because you're not creating anything. You're telling something else to create something. But I don't hate AI art. I just think it's, if you use it as a reference tool, it can actually be very useful for you. I think the problem with AI art is the irresponsibility of certain people who are in charge of, like, I think there was an art competition and the winner was like to be featured on a magazine or something, and a piece of AI art won it. That's not necessarily the AI art fault, that's just the irresponsibility of the person in charge of that competition. I think things like that is what the problem is. Because AI art will always have to get a prompt from a style that a human has created. That's why it doesn't worry me as much from an artist's point of view. And like I say, most of my art, and as well, that's like when you move to traditional art, like drawing on paper and canvas and stuff, AI art can't replicate what you physically put down on paper or canvas. So it could go either way, where it could increase the value of your work because it becomes more rare, like if AI art does kind of get more of a hold. But from what I've seen, in terms of just kind of being a straight up artist, AI art doesn't really do anything. People just aren't interested in it. Like if there's an interesting image and someone might say, oh, I really like that, I have seen people say, like if they know AI art's created it, they're like, oh, I'm not bothered then. Like, what's the point? So it doesn't worry me that much. Like I said, I just think people need to be responsible with it. I think, you know, don't allow it to replace the jobs of that real people have, like animation, digital art, storyboarding, things like that. Don't. That's on the responsibility of, I suppose, team leaders and managers who hire people in. I think that's where it is. If people just allow AI art to be part of everything, that's when I think it could go south. But other than that, yeah, I'm not massively worried about it. I mean, photography's a different thing sort of altogether. But again, like, I don't know how AI art would work with photography. Because again, you've got the sort of the real person would have to actually put the work in to sort of, you know, location, the editing work behind it and all that kind of thing. So it's hard to say. I think at first I was really kind of like, oh no, AI art's gonna do this, that and the other. But I think the more I've seen, I'm like, no, you can always kind of tell that it's AI art, and I just think it completely devalues the work knowing that it is AI art. It's like no one's going to want to pay loads of money. Like if somebody just kind of puts in a prompt of do a picture of a skull in this style and then print it out, like I wouldn't pay £1 for a piece of AI art ever. I wouldn't pay money ever for a bit of AI art ever. Like if I know they'd done it, it's like, no, I'm not paying for that. But yeah, the person who I argued with on Twitter, it's like he didn't seem to have any sort of comeback when I told him that you haven't created it. It's like me telling someone else to do something. They've done it, not me. I've just told them to do it. To enhance old photos. Yeah, but again, like I say, you're using AI as a tool as opposed to outright making something from nothing. Like you're using that to, like say, tidy up a photo. Because you could get into the weeds and the sort of bones of it and say, like when you press, I don't know, when you use the sharpen tool in Photoshop, I know that's a very crude argument, but could you argue, well, you've used, I mean, AI is a stretch, I admit, but it's the same kind of thing. You're just using a tool to make a photo look better. Because to me, that all you're doing is using another tool in the world of editing. You're not letting the AI do the work fully for you. You've done the work. And even then, like you say, it's hit or miss. That's where your skills come in. You've got to decide which ones are the hits and which ones are the misses. That's where your talent comes in. That's where your work comes in. So, like I said, I don't think AI can ever fully replace art. There's always got to be a human element to it. It's like VAR in football. It's like, it doesn't matter how good the tool is. If you've got humans running it, it's never going to be fully perfect, is it? That's all I'm saying anyway. It's just because I think we've said it before. Like I see so many people get bent out of shape about AI and like literally piss themselves. Like, oh my god, AI, and it's like, just chill. Like, do you know what I mean? You're not morally reprehensible because you've faffed about with it, or did he? So what, Andy Warhol had the idea. I remember doing a little bit on Andy Warhol in school, but so what, he's the guy who did it was the Campbell's soup tins, wasn't it? That's him, right? So what, he told somebody, he kind of just wrote the idea down and someone else painted it for him. Although the argument be made about Steve Jobs, he didn't really do any of the work, he just told other people to do it. I'm kind of a bit stuck here, where do I go? Yeah, I didn't know that about Andy Warhol. It's like, what's his name? Is it Damien Hirst? The guy who cut the cow in half. It's like, well, did he cut the cow in half? Or did he tell someone to cut the cow in half? I mean, never mind that it's a bullshit thing anyway, but... But yeah, I did not know that. I thought he painted them. Surely that would have come out somewhere. Andy Warhol, the fraud. Who'd have thought? What do I do with this? Recently, a person went viral on YouTube. He lost his job. That's fucked. That's a lawsuit, surely. So a company used the guy's original work, pumped the info into AI, then fired him and used his. That's gotta be. You can surely sue for that. I'd do everything in my power to make sure that company went bust as well. I'd be screaming that from the rooftops. I mean, I don't know I think that's what that is a company taking advantage of people's work before certain laws come in, because they will come in, because it's going to take cases like that to draw attention to it, and then have laws created about it. It's just, unfortunately, someone is going to get fucked along the way. Andy Warhol, people do his work for him. Jeez, I did not know that. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah. Again, when I hear stories like this, it makes me think it's exactly why there's no chance I'd ever want to work for a boss or anything, or a company. I've seen so many stories. We're a family. No, you're fucking not. Yeah, I'd be, whoever that company is, I'd name and shame the shit out of them. But that's one of the things I found out as I got older, is whenever I see companies that you work for and whatever work you produce, they own it, massive red flag for me. I'd be like, no, I'm sorry, but absolutely not. But yeah, that all that company's done is they know what they're doing there. They've taken advantage of someone before any laws are implemented to stop stuff like that. They know what they're doing because they know laws like that are coming that are going to stop stuff like that. They absolutely know it. But yeah, it's just companies, man. Like, oh, they're so scummy. They're so scummy. Yeah, like, yeah, that's that. I'd fight it on that grounds. Like, you have to pay him some sort of royalty. Then, like, you've based it on his work. Because when it says, "Oh, there's nothing we can do," it's like, well, bullshit. All it takes is a judge to say, just to adopt a bit of common sense and say, no, you know what's happened here. You know what you've done. That's all it would take. Like, a judge can overrule any decision or any. Well, I suppose it's country dependent, isn't it? I suppose that's not exactly true. Like some laws and jurisdictions are different and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, in US it's state dependent. Yeah, but I would imagine that I'm sure in the US it works where. I mean, I'm sure I've read this. I could be mistaken, but I am sure I read this where it doesn't matter. Like, for example, if a jury were to vote guilty or not guilty, the judge can ultimately overrule it. But yeah, I'd be like, I think in America you might have a better chance. Like, I've heard about squatter laws. Only in the UK, but I think they've changed since I last heard about them. So I've got, my knowledge is pretty much zero on that. Sorry, Dead Hand, as well. I've just noticed you responded saying your weekend was uneventful. It's pretty much the same for all of us, my friend. My weekend was very uneventful as well. But no, go ahead, Uni. Tell me about these squatter laws. Are they in regards to the US? Yeah, that's what I did here. Apparently, that's, again, it's all the kind of guff that you see on TikTok where where someone will pop up and say, well, these laws have now changed and but I have heard that, yeah. Like, it's mainly to do with people who own, like, if a landlord owns a property that's not been habited for 30 days. But I heard that someone did say that had changed in the UK, at least, anyway. I think that's what you said there. I think that's why it changed, because it's a case of you still own the property, But again, without properly looking into it, I don't know fully.
Nyla, it's Harper's 5th birthday, the little girl in America.
But am I right in assuming that squatters' laws or squatters' rights, or is it to deter people just kind of like hoarding properties without rent, like if they're kind of overcharging with this property, or they're just holding on to it for no reason? Because at first I thought, is it just people kind of squatting in people's houses randomly? Because like if say we were away for like a week and then squatters were in it, yeah, I'd be kicking them out. But it's a weird one. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like I understand the logic of it, where like after 30 days, if you're just gonna have a property, like when people need homes, and you're not gonna let people kind of rent it, or you're just hoarding it. But then again, it's like if you own something, nobody should ever have the right to kind of take over. Is it a form of theft? I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I don't know. Still got this law at 51. Yeah, it's one of those where I can kind of, like, if you follow the logic, like I kind of understand what you're trying to do, but does it work in practice? I'm not entirely sure. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I've got a thing where I just don't like people messing with your stuff. Like if you own something and you've worked hard to own that thing and somebody else can just take it, I just hate that. But at the same time, if you're a greedy landlord and you're taking advantage of a system which is stopping other people have hope, yeah, it's complicated. I don't know. It's one of those I need to think about. Yeah, it's another one of those where you've got to kind of review it individual case by individual case, but it's just the time it would take to do that. It's like, let's work on this side now, shall we? Yeah, I get myself when I see things that, like, especially around politics or the law, when I see just blatantly, obviously bad decisions, it really does piss me off. Like that AI, like especially around jobs and work, like I just think, nah, I can't cope with it. Like I just think, just selfish, greedy, cruel, heartless pricks that exist in this world just really annoy me. Like especially around jobs and work, it's like you'll quite happily ruin someone's life and put them in the rubbish bin just to save a bit. You know, you're a multi-million or billion-pound company, and it just, yeah, just that greed is just, oh, so ugly. Just, oh, I hate it. Come and have a look at apple pie.
You know when it like kind of turns there, and there's like the ground kind of uneven, it's like got like kind of nearly holes in it. Like it's, I put my leg down, it landed on the corner with it. You went around. It's not burnt, is it? I only did it for 20 minutes. It said 35. Is it all done?
Oh, surprising that Texas also has the law. Yeah, it's, I don't know, I can't make sense of some laws in the world that exist. Like in America, one of the things that really confuses me, like I think how quickly or how easy would it be to change this? The fact that they don't include tax in the price of products. I just think it's so obvious. Why wouldn't you do that? It's just so stupid that they don't. Like, it's such an obvious thing. Like, how hard would that be to change? Like, really?
I looked at this and I actually thought this was me for a second, then realised I haven't got that coat or them that coat or them shoes, and this person's skinnier. But that is Iowa.
Fortunately, most of these states, the duration is not 30 days. Yeah, years makes a bit more sense. Because it's when you get into the sort of timeline of years, like 3 years, and then so if the owner comes back, what are you doing in my house? It's like, mate, you haven't been here for 3 years, you didn't even notice. Like, if you really cared about the place, you check up on it like every few months, kind of thing. You know what I mean? When to find snacks? Nice. What snacks did you get there, and? Come on, impress me with your snackage. Coob was here earlier, but he had to shoot. He's usually the snack master, isn't he?
He's even got hair like me.
20 years if property is vacant. Yeah, like, again, I'm never keen on the idea of somebody taking something that doesn't belong to them, that's yours. But with something like property, after 20 years, it's like, I'm not going to grumble too much of that. It's like, dude, you've had a property for 20 years and you didn't go and check on it once. It's like, nah. Just give it up, like, sell it, give it away, do something with it, don't just hoard it. That's what I mean about just greed. It fucks me off, greed. Like, greedy people annoy me. Like why? What do you get out of it? Yeah, yeah. But like I said, I think it's just to deter like people hoarding property and stuff like that. Because like, why would you? What are you benefiting from by hoarding it? Barbecue Quavers, salted caramel galaxy, and a butter. I mean, that is elite level Tucker. That is absolute chef kiss to that. Apple Tango is a 4 out of 5 drink. Salted Caramel Galaxy is a 5 out of 5, and Barbecue Quaver is like a 4, 5 out of 5. Yeah, that's some serious snackage. Love it, Dead End. Love it. All over that. The only reason I'd give the Barbecue Quavers a 4 out of 5 is because Quavers are one of the, like, barbecue flavoured crisps are like normally 5 out of 5. Like McCoys and Hula Hoops and stuff. But I just think Quavers, I think they're...
Have you gone over on your ankle?
They're cheese flavoured Quavers,
What?
Sorry, I was just listening out. My son's outside playing footy and he's fallen over. I'm just making sure he's not broken anything. No, he's fine. He's all good. Right, we're a little bit thin. Quite. I mean, quite was great anyway. Right, let's make some space over this bit. We're a little bit empty over here, I think.
You're going to have to give them to me, and I'm going to have to soak them in that 8 bleach and vanish.
You're gonna have to see if I can.
Oh, I had a little bit of a flurry on TikTok Live earlier, but it's gone quiet again. But it's all good. I'm not going to grumble. Any likes or any views I get, always like. Mashuda. Weasley Wolf, thank you for the like on TikTok. Appreciate it. Chocolate on the mind now, Dad Hand. I really want a chocolate bar. Yeah, salted caramel is like one of the best combinations of things that have ever been invented in food. So good. One of the best sweet things I've ever had like that is Pizza Hut, of all places. Like, it's ultra sweet, the pudding that they do, but I kind of like that. It's their... So they do like a salted caramel and ice cream pudding in like a skillet. So the cookie is like ultra gooey and soft, and then they do like a blob of ice cream on top, and it's just like, oh my word. Some people might think it's a bit sickly, but it's, oh, it's exactly what I love. It's just nom 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 nom. Yeah, it's madness how good that is, isn't it? It's so nice. Right, I think what I'm going to do with this one, somebody, I forget who mentioned it, somebody mentioned it in one of my chats. It might have even been Visual Vendetta, I can't remember. But someone mentioned about the cables. But I am going to, because I messed up one of the cables last time I did it, and what I tend to do is if I mess it up, it'll put me off trying it again. But this time I'm just going to be a bit more savvy. So, which one was it? It was... So one of the very first drawings I did, so that one, like I really like the little, so I'm going to do one of these, I'm going to put one of them up there. And also, but I'm going to, there's another one that I did, a bit there. But in one of the drawings I did, yeah, I remember when I did this one, I really liked this one, but I've completely ballsed up this cable. Look at that, look how wonky that is. Blech. So I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to just be a bit more careful with it. I might pencil it in first as well. I don't usually pencil in drawings on here, but I just don't want to cock it up. See, that one's a little bit over to the side. Dimmy, how's it going, man? Welcome in. Thank you for the likes. We'll lose their subscription benefits soon. Have I missed somebody? Sorry, I've not been checking out the thingy. Hello from Cyprus. You want what are you doing in Cyprus? Are you in on holiday? And I wouldn't worry about the subscription thing. The fact that you subscribed once was generous enough. Always be grateful for that. I'm just I saw that you sent me a message earlier. I'll check it out once I've finished this. I don't like that one. The arc isn't quite right. This is why I'm penciling it in this time, because I messed it up last time. Might drop that a bit more. There you go, that's a bit better. No. Erasmus training. What's Erasmus training? Oh, thank you so much for subscribing again, Dimmy. Thank you. Thanked it, yes, I would like to thank it. I don't know how though.
That pink one, it's just got one blade, the other one's all snapped off and it don't work.
Yeah, what's Erasmus training? What's that? Do tell. I'm unfamiliar with such things. I'm getting cramp in my hip. Ow! I'm so flipping old and decrepit, it's ridiculous. Ow! Oh.
We use nearly all of our basil to make a basil pesto for that pasta. Dan said it tastes like that one that you get for it. We need to go and get your hair cut. That was for Daniel's wedding, you know, I don't know. It's got the white hair on that side and the white hair on that side. You can't do blonde, you know what I mean? Look, have a look. The one on.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know about you. I think because we're similar age, aren't we? I think you're. I want to say you're slightly. I think you're about a year older than me, 6 months older than me. But I don't know about you, Dedan. But I'm starting to feel it. Like I could just ache more. I mean, I should work out more. Like I know I've slacked on that a little bit, but flipping heck, I feel. I just feel older. Sucks. Oh, I see. European Union picture in it. I see. Is it going well? How's it coming along? Is it going alright? It's not a bad place to be doing your training either in Cyprus. It's a lovely place. A lot of people I know were born in Cyprus because of they were in the RAF, or their dads were, and that's where they were posted. When you were young, rubber. As you get older, less bounce. That is it. Like I flipping brained myself outside when I was playing football with my son. I think I told you about it when I got the thing on my hand. It was just an old knee injury. Like it just gave way and I just completely collapsed. Next to the green zone, that is taken. Oh wow. That sounds like a proper important job you've got there. Like that's way out of my league, stuff like that. I don't think I mentioned it when you guys were here, but you'll be pleased to know I have started looking into getting the shop sorted. Like I've kind of stopped bitching about it and just said, right, just get on with it. But I do think it'll take about a day's work because it's organising everything will take quite a lot of time, and I need to find a discount code where it's like three months for £1 a month. So it kind of helps with the cost, but yeah, it's just like making sure it's all organised, making sure it looks the part, all that kind of thing. Yeah, I reckon it'll take about a day. Hopefully not as much, but yeah, I do want it done by the end of the week. Now that, like I've said, now that the kids are off this week, it's one less thing to concentrate on. So I can just kind of get on with it. So that's what I'm going to be looking to do. There we go. Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, I know my words mean piss all when it comes to this saying I'm going to do this, that and the other, but... online shop, yes. Dimmy, it's something I've been planning to do for a while, and thank you so much for the tiny diny as well. That's very generous of you, thank you. Yeah, like I'm sure I showed you, didn't I? I can't remember. I'll show you now anyway, may as well since we're here. So I did print out these. So these are the printouts of the ones that I'll be selling. That's the first one. So yeah, these will be £20 each. I do have to split them, so I'm going to get my guillotine out and split them all up. So you'll have, there'll be there's 10 drawings available, 2 of each drawing. These are the ones I've selected. What I might do as well is make that the yellow one available as like a limited edition thing. But they're the ones that are available for sale. Those, and of course the original pieces that I've done. So I don't know if you've seen, I'm sure you've seen these, didn't you? I'm sure you have. Those 2 original pieces as well. They're going to be more expensive. So that one's £300. That one's £200. So yeah, what I said to myself was get your first set of works printed and ready, and then that's when you go and get the shop done. But I've just been a bit anxious and a bit nervy about doing the shop, because then it becomes kind of more real, and it's just silly sort of anxiety, worries about getting it up. And I was chatting to a friend about, he's got it's called a funnel website where you focus on building up customers first, and I didn't want to do that because I thought it's just an extra step. And I'm not saying it doesn't work, it certainly works for a lot of people, but I seem to have quite a few people already who would kind of buy the prints. Like saying, even if it just starts at 1 a month, I can just build from that. So, you know. Did you consider the solid colour on the background? Oh, on these ones. Sorry, on these ones. Yeah, so I remember we had a chat about it, and so basically this sketchbook is now finished. Where have I put that? Yeah. So this was the sketchbook I think we were talking about. So these are now all finished. So I did 50 of them, and they're now done. I'll be using a different sketchbook because they're my most popular ones, and I'll be adding grey to these ones, and I'll probably do more of a background. But in terms of what you said about background, where's my other sketchbook gone? So I don't know if you remember chatting about these ones. So I wanted to print these ones as well, but because of the type of paper that they're on, the editing process is too long. So it's like, right, okay, I'll still do kind of video edits of these, and you know, I'll fill up this sketchbook and do a tour at the end. It's a good job I finished that. But what I've done is I've started a new piece. So this one here, this is going to be the kind of thing where I will be doing a background on. because I wanted to keep the black and white ones just black and white. That's just that. They'll just be black ink line drawings. And the new sketchbook I'll be adding grey to them, but I'll predominantly be keeping it like grayscale. I won't be doing any more than that. But these ones here, basically these ones are going to be the ones I'm pulling from my sketchbook, the one that I've just showed you. So that would be this one here. So for example, this one, I'd like to do something like this, but with more of a background. So I'd be adding red to it, or like a gradient red, orange, yellow background. So basically what I'm saying is these ones here will be originals that are based on the drawings that I do in here. It's just the problem is I could edit these, but it would just take so long. Like, and one of the problems is how thin the paper is. So like when you photo it or scan it, you can see the drawing on the other side, and because it's like an off-white, it's like an ivory colour, like it would just take so long to edit. It's like, instead of doing that, just do those kind of drawings on white paper, white plain paper, so you get an original as well. And these are the ones I'll be adding those backgrounds to. So I did. So on my scrapbook, can't quite tell there, but these were some early ideas for backgrounds. So like the sort of neon backgrounds, but I'd make it more block colour like this. So yeah, that was the plan. I mean, you can add. Yeah, like any help's appreciated, but I think with my work, it's the black and white stuff. I'm going to keep black and white. I'm not going to change that at all. They're going to be just purely black, and that's where they live. And then these ones here that I've shown you, these ones, they're the ones where I'm going to add the colour. These ones, like I say, because they were based on. Yeah, these are the ones where I'll be putting all the colours on. Like I say, stuff like this, all this kind of stuff. These are the pictures that I'll be drawing and putting more of a background on. Like that one's got a bit of a background. That one's got a bit of a background, but like I said, I'll be probably filling it in more. I'll do more, like more solid backgrounds. I think with this book though, because like I say, the paper's quite thin, and it's more sort of line focused, like there I've done a bit of a background. That's why I've not gone too heavy, but I think these new drawings that I'm doing, these ones, they're the ones that I'll be going more full on with sort of blocking and colours and things like that. But yeah, but like I said, the idea is I want to keep the editing down to a minimum. I want them to be like captures of the original pieces. I don't want to kind of do anything post. Like it will just be cleaning it up and making it look nice. I'll be doing more stuff digitally later on, and I can do, like I say, pixel work with that kind of thing. But yeah, lots to do, lots of new stuff. Thank you for the sign language, Dimly. Thank you. That's very, very generous. Oh, my back. Jambada. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Dead End, you're not wrong. Like I don't know, it's just sometimes like I let myself get overwhelmed when I shouldn't do. It's like, oh, I've got to do the shop and it's all this other admin stuff, and I'm like, and I kind of avoid it. But no, I'm going to basically slap myself in the face and say, no, stop being a dickhead. Get it all looked into. Take a day, take 2 days if you need to. That's your priority, because what it's making me do is it's making me stall on other ideas, because I'm saying to myself, you're not allowed to start anything new until you do this. But because I'm stalling on this, I'm just kind of going through the motions with doing these streams, which are great. I love doing the streams, but I need to do more, if you know what I mean. Do you have an XP? I do. Yes, there it is. That's my tablet. I'm streaming on YouTube. There's all the fellas on YouTube chat. Say hello. Sorry, I'm just showing. There's Dimney on TikTok. I'm just showing him around. But yeah, that's my XP pen. That's what I did. I don't know if I showed you my digital works where I did the movie poster stuff. Yeah, that's the tablet I did most of it on. Dead Hand says hello to you, Dimmy, by the way. Oh dear. It's a damn good tablet. It's really, really good. Like, I'm made up with it. I got it a few years ago. I saved up, I think, 2 birthdays for it. But like I said, since I've not used it as much as I want, but since I've come away from doing movie poster stuff, but I have started playing about with that again. And like I said, I need to figure out the best way to do pixel art stuff on it. But yeah, I'm doing it like there's so many ideas and so many things I want to do. It's just, you'll do nothing, Jamie, until you get your shop up. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. What time are we on? Don't even know. 8:15. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to go and get myself a beverage, use the gentleman's room. And I'll get all this, I'll thumbnail this, get it all up on the socials, give it a like, all that sort of stuff. I need to link out the sketchbook tour I did as well. So yeah, I'll do all that, but €400. Oh, someone's had my pants down there. I think I paid a bit more for it than that. Oh, did I? Did I pay like £400 or £500? Oh, God, I'd have to go back over my history. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, the first one I got was actually faulty, so I had to send it back. It cost me £50 to return it, but they did PayPal that apparently, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to shoot off. But thank you all for joining. Everyone on TikTok, everyone on YouTube. Always a pleasure to hang out with you. I'll be back doing one of these drawings on Friday. I'm going to try and, like I say, jump on in between to do some work. I really had an itch to do some graffiti work today. Like, I really wanted to get back into that. Like, I keep seeing my graffiti artists' favourites pop up with work. I'm like, oh, I really want to get stuck into that. But, no, do all this stuff first. But yeah, it's been a very, very lovely day today on stream. It's been brilliant. Thank you so much for all popping in. But Dimly, again, really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for subscribing again. Incredibly generous. Dead Hand and everyone, again, always really, really welcome your support and stick. You know, you've been here for over a year now, so thank you for that. But Fridays when I'll next be on YouTube, and I might be on TikTok. But until then, Uni, Dead Hand, Vendetta Cube, everyone,